Morning, everybody. It is almost 8:10 a.m. It will be in about 5 seconds. Welcome to my channel. This market's basically waiting on big news this week. All right, so we got FOMC. We got earnings, big earnings this week. I saw stats: 32% of the S&P 500's earnings are being reported this week. It's pretty big. And we got non-farm payrolls on Friday and unemployment. Big week of data. Market is definitely balancing ahead of this news, right? So we haven't made any major upside or major downside. Okay. So without further ado, welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. Use market profile and volume profile, foreign structure in the market, along with gamma exposure levels, supply and demand, anchored VWAPs, and of course high volume nodes and volume profile, which include the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the preceding day. All helps me find structure in the market and stays on the side of strength, whoever is stronger, the bull, the bear. Right now, the bull is stronger, okay, based on structure. And that could change, but right now that hasn't changed. And this week should possibly be a catalyst, right? I'm not expecting, and nobody's expecting anything from the Fed as far as a rate hike or cut. It's a pause. However, the press conference following, might shed some more light because the market's expecting more cuts than I believe that the Fed's going to do. So that's the interesting part of that. Okay. All right. Let's get into if you want to subscribe or not. Set an alert. Of course, if you like my content, give me a thumbs up. And you can always follow me on X at Gonzo719. Okay, so what we can do right now is get right into that watch list for futures. And let's just see. VIX is up 5.13%. Okay. We got an elevated VIX. Still not really showing fear, but it's almost at 14. Silver is up 1.26. Bonds being bought, 30-year bonds up 0.68. Gold is getting more love again, up 0.5. Probably just geopolitical risk. War and stuff like that is going to drive gold. Okay, so dollar is up. See, when you have a dollar and gold up, the only reason probably is something else going on in the world, which there is. And Nasdaq's up 0.21, ES is up 0.07. 10-year yield doesn't report until 8:20. I would assume that would be going down with the 30-year bond going up. We'll have to see. The Dow is basically flat. Bitcoin's flat. Russell's down 0.1. Crude is making a move, but it's down 0.31. Okay, Ether's down 0.53. Okay, interesting because Bitcoin and Ether not getting much love, but there's plenty of crypto-related stocks that are, right? Let's go to the Mag 7 with some added bonus in there. So we got AMD is up 1.72. This is a monster. It's at 180. Okay, it's a monster. All right, Coin is up 1.24. That stock's been beaten down a little bit now. And a lot of these crypto-related stocks have been beaten down, and now they've had their pullback, and now they're getting some love. All right, so Coin's up 1.24%. Tesla beaten down is up 1.12. Bob is up 0.85. Microsoft's talking about ahead of their earnings, talking about a big. We'll look at that news. 15% quarter revenue spike or something like that. I'm gonna get into that in a little bit. Boeing's just a mess lately, but that's up 0.65. There's not a lot of negatives right now besides snow. All right, so Apple's kind of flat. Apple's pulled back a pretty decent amount. All right, last week. Snow down 0.5. Okay, let's move on to top sector stocks. Let's see, each sector has a top stock, and let's look at it. Eli Lilly. I'm still interested in this stock. It's up 0.59. Salesforce just got coverage initiated at a buy and leave an outperform rating, so that's up 0.38. Then you got Chevron, Visa, and then at the bottom here, Disney, that's not really down that much. Goldman Sachs is down 0.26. We had some earnings come in this morning. We'll look at that as well. Now let's look at some my swings, my new list of swing stocks that I like to look at. Let's look at the leaders there. That says ARM. Okay, that is not correct. It is not up 40%. That's like an error. Okay, but SoFi reported earnings. Look at that, up 12.47%. Followed by Lucid, up 3.4. Okay, followed by Dollar Tree. Mara, remember that crypto stuff, right? Mara's up 2.69. That's been making a little bit of a comeback at a key level. I'm very interested in that. However, we have a lot of news coming out this week. So Hershey got an upgrade. Supermicro Computers, they're looking to report earnings this week. We'll look into that. American Airlines got an upgrade. Western Digital is looking to merge. MicroStrategy is another one of those Bitcoin related stocks. Okay, that's what's driving those. Now let's look at the negatives. There's not a lot. Okay, the biggest losers: JetBlue, PayPal. I believe that's Carnival Cruise Lines, Palo Alto. That's not much. Okay, so this market's not very weak this morning. Okay, we'll go back to the top sectors. Okay, now let's move on to just sectors. The leader, semis. They pulled back. Remember that from Intel's earnings. They did get a pullback. And this is very high momentum stock right now. Very leader, very AI driven. And every pullback, probably people are like, oh, there's my pullback. I'm not getting another pullback, right? XLK, XLC. What do we have negative? Really? Financials, basic material. There's not much. Okay, there's really not much weakness right now. Like I said, there's you have a better bet of stocks moving a little higher before this news, because if you have a pause, that's neither bullish, right, or bearish. It's more bullish, and then it all depends of what Powell says after. If he starts walking back his cuts, maybe we're not going to do as much, or we're going to wait. Possibly can send the market down. That's what I'm saying. It's very pivotal this week. Okay, very pivotal. All right, now we can get into some news, and we'll look at the economic calendar together. Not sure if our little Rosita is with us today, because she's in the West Coast or in Vegas right now. Not sure if she's up. Wouldn't surprise me if she is, but today we just got the Dallas Fed. All right. Tomorrow we have JOLTS job openings, consumer confidence. Okay. Wednesday is the big day. That's where you have the Fed rate decision, FOMC, followed by the press conference at 2:30. Okay. Followed by crude inventory. Thursday, initial jobless claims. Okay. And you have ISM manufacturing at 10. And Friday, that's the big one, non-farm payrolls. Okay. And unemployment rate. And Michigan consumer sentiment. So a lot of data this week. What else do we have? We have earnings. Earnings. Look at this week's earnings. Okay. This morning we had SoFi report. Okay. Phillips, couple banks. All right. Today, Super Microcomputer, which took a big jump. I think it was last week or the week before last week. Okay. That report after the close. Whirlpool. Not too many big ones after the market today, but before tomorrow, you got Pfizer, GM, UPS, JetBlue. All right, Marathon. Let's see. Then after the close tomorrow, Microsoft, AMD, Google, Starbucks, big, big after tomorrow's close, right? That's right before the FOMC. And on Wednesday, Boeing, all right, MasterCard, Boston Scientific, Hess. So this week, it looks like we got like transports, shipping stuff, we got energy and healthcare, and then we got some semis. So you got big ones this week. All right, then after the close on Wednesday, Qualcomm, okay, and before the open Thursday, we got Royal Caribbean, Peloton, Merck, Sirius, Honeywell, okay, Stanley Black and Decker. After the close on Thursday, we have Amazon, big one, Apple, Meta, right, Clorox, Skechers, okay, and then Friday, Exxon, Chevron, Bristol Myers Squibb, AbbVie, Cigna. So there's healthcare, big healthcare this week too. Okay, so just a big week of earnings. Okay, big week of earnings. Lots of data coming out this week can push the market higher, push the market down. Let's see. All right, let's just see what happens this week. Be very interesting. Should be some volatility. Hence the VIX rising a little bit, right? So that's what we have going on. As far as news, let's go into some news. Let's see. This is what I was talking about before, but Microsoft set for AI power revenue surges, stock pulls ahead. Microsoft is expected to report a 15.8% jump in quarterly revenue. Okay. Talk about Boeing. Let's see here. Just trying to see Irish airline trim profit forecast. That's Ryanair. Ryanair. There was something oh, here we go. All right, so Intel and Taiwan Semiconductors President Joe Biden administration is expected to award billions of dollars in subsidies in the coming weeks to two top semiconductor companies. That's pretty big news, right? And then Microsoft and Apple. Microsoft's early lead in artificial intelligence has the software heavyweight stock market value poised to pull decisively ahead of Apple over the next 5 years. All right. And then here's that Western Digital news. Western Digital, Bain Capital is in talks with SK Hynix to restart negotiations to merge the memory chip maker with Japan's Kioxia Holdings. So that's interesting. And then we got American Express, got a target price raise. Bank of California, Piper Sandler raises target price. Colgate, they report. I think they report tomorrow, today. I saw that they're reporting. I can't remember now. I think they might have reported last week. Don't quote me on that. And then that's it, really, for that. We could just get over to the daily charts with not much to report. There's really not much to report there. Let's go over to the daily charts. Actually, there's one thing I wanted to show you guys. Just to give you, it's always a nice thing to look at here. Right here. Okay. All this is you got the SPX up here. All right, and this is just the S&P 5 stocks. How many percentage of stocks are over their 20-day simple moving average? Okay. Now, this just gives you a good overall view of the overall market. Okay. This is not any weighted thing. It's only about 58% of stocks are over their 20-day simple moving average. That is not super bullish. Okay, nor is it super bearish. So all that it means is, why does the market went higher? Mag 7, right? And I've been talking to my friend Rosa about this, is that Mag 7's been pushing this market higher again. Okay, if the other parts of the market, if the breadth gets wider and you start getting money dumped into more things, this will go higher, and the overall market should go higher. Okay, so the Mag 7 really, needs some, you get the rest of the market going, you could get a couple legs higher. Just want to go over that for a sec. All right, let's go to the daily charts. Like I said, there's not much to glean from the daily charts, but we were going to go over them. Okay. Okay, so we have balance, right? We have balance. And let's just get in here tighter. All right. So if we look at this chart together, here's the previous week's highs and lows. Last week we just held them. It's bullish, okay? We just held them. 3 days of balance right there. This little breakout here, we've been holding above that. All right, where are we at now? 47.37, 487.37. We are basically by the close of Friday, which basically just means the market's is just waiting. That's all that means. Okay, market's waiting for all this news to drop. All right, Qs. All right, same thing. Held the previous week's highs last week. All right, so you had some weakness that you pulled back into this little range here. All right, and then you popped up. 424.30 is where we're at right now, right here. Okay, we're close to the open on Friday. Again, at the lower third of Friday's range. So the big thing is here, do we break? All right, do we go into this range and can we break for like 421? That's the line in the sand for the Qs. Can we break that? If we break it, maybe we go down, and get a pullback. If not, if it gets held, that's bullish, and we could possibly go up higher again. All right, that is that. Let's go over to our triple headed monster. Now TNX has reported. All right, 10-year yield is down 1.25%. Okay, let's look at that together. The bond market is still in a range. Okay, so let's look at that triple headed monster here. Okay, so what have we been doing? We've been in an uptrend. We are over the 200-day moving average. We have a declining 50-day moving average. Okay, and we're just in range. All right, what are we going to do? We're going to bump out of 4.2 yield, or are we going to drop below 4.08? Whatever we do here, I feel is going to be the tell of what the market's going to do. And this week this should move based on the FOMC and unemployment. Okay, so keep an eye on that. And finally, the VIX. We got an elevated VIX just because of all the data is coming out this week. Okay, you got a little uptrend in the VIX. Okay, getting some fear a little bit back, but it's not much fear. Okay, the other key is the dollar. Now, if you look at the dollar, right at the 200, it's kind of doing what the bond market's kind of doing. Right at the 200-day moving average, declining 50-day moving average, and you're just here, right? You got like 103 point, let's say 9. The bottom's 102.7. Higher dollars, not as great for equities. All right, not as great for commodities, and then a lower dollar is pretty much good for equities and commodities. Okay, that wraps up that. Now let's go into market profile. Okay, it's not going to show us much, but this is where we get our plan. Okay, this is where we get our plan, and you're going to see right away the profile showing us balance. The profile showing us balance. So let's look at this together. This is my favorite structure tool to look at. Okay, it's my favorite structure tool. So let's look at that. Let's review our structure. Here's a nice little profile that just shows you balance. Most traded price of the week 49.16. Okay, that moved higher. It used to be here. Now it's moved, right? That's bullish. I've been talking about that. I go, hey, if they can move the most traded price of the week higher, that's always bullish. Okay, so that has been done. So feather in the cap for the bulls. We got a new week to date VWAP, right? Right here. Our price is right at the most traded price of the week. No surprise there. So in the middle of the muddle, in the middle of the balance, that's really all you can say. There's really no edge at all in here. Okay. Now, the way you look at this is we got big news coming up. I don't see big moves happening before, but it has happened. Probability is they don't, but there's always outliers, right? So here's our range. Okay. Here's our range. So if you're in the middle of balance, we're going to do a push out to the edge. So this is an inside out trade. I don't like trading from here, but we are going to test this or this today. You don't stay in here. You're going to test the outside edges. Okay, so that's very easy. This plan, you can't get it any more easier than today. Probability favors we stay in balance. Probability favors it. Okay, so we're going to just get what we can look at real quickly. Here's Friday's high, Friday's low. We broke this and this on Friday and we couldn't go farther. Okay, and we went back down. No surprise when you're in balance. Okay, have a weak low here. This little weak low is not been broken. Okay, so you have a little mini balance in here, and then you have the larger balance out here. Okay. Okay, so where's price? Price is, like I said, right at the most traded price of the week and the most traded price of Friday. Okay, so there's not much edge to this. Here's inventory. It's kind of 50-50. Like I said, it's pretty easy what to do here. Okay, so let's just go right into scenarios. Let's go to ES scenarios. This is pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward. The only thing what I'm interested in. Okay, now when we're in balance, yes, the bulls are stronger right now. Okay, but do I think a breakout's going to happen? Probability says no, but you always leave the door open. Okay. All right. So what does that mean? Like I said, we have a demand zone down here in the little mini bracket. So if we push down here, you got week to day VWAP right here. You can push into this demand. And what I would expect most likely if we do, you probably take out this weak low really briefly. And that could either mean like a little boop, recovery, higher low, higher low. We're going to come, probably hit back the middle of this. And now you could stay there. You can go back. But if this is bullish, you push above it, hold, and then we go up and test the other side of balance. Okay. Again, I said there's a low probability here. We probably drop back down. Or if we hold, we could do a brief push up. But I don't, like I said, probability wise, I don't see a breakout, but it could always happen. You got to have it in the cards. Okay. Now, if we get some kind of bigger break here, and we come down and break this, hold, then you got this demand zone in the larger bottom of the balance. And this is pretty crucial down here because you still got a high volume node down here. If this gets defended, even if we come down here, we're going to wind up going back, reverting to the mean, to the most traded price. Okay, so that's the bullish. If we're talking about the bearish, okay, now if we come back up here, make our way up into this supply zone, test it, Friday's highs, get rejected here, lower high, we're going to test this area. We drop below this, test week to day VWAP, we're going to test this micro balance low. If we break that and hold, we're going to test the bottom of this range. All right, now, if this is crazy and somehow some fears, something pops out of news-wise, if you break this level and hold, we're going lower, we're breaking the singles. I don't see that happening today, but it has to be part of the scenario. right? That pretty much wraps up that. Pretty basic, all right? The balance area stays until it's broken, right? And all this means is more energy is coiling and coiling and coiling, and we're going to get a big breakout. Down, up. That's all that means. All right, now we can move on to the NASDAQ. NASDAQ, all right. It's been a little weak since Intel's earnings. Okay, so Apple's kind of pulled back. Apple's pulled back. Let's see what else has pulled back pretty nicely. Nvidia, I mean, it's pulled back. I mean, kind of went down to 607 about. All right. AMD's pulled back a little bit. Obviously, this morning is not pulled back. So you've gotten a little bit of a pullback. Okay. Snow is pulled back. So let's look at the structure together. It is weaker. Obviously, it just had some nice, came all the way up here, and look, the ES has not done that. But what's holding this market up still? Okay, this still is the most traded price of the week. Remember, this is a 24-hour chart. I'm including all volume, but the real-time trading hours during the day is what really is the big time volume that matters. So this level, you can see, has been defended multiple times. Even came down here again. Got defended. Okay. Got defended. So we're at more of like the bottom of a balance area in the Nasdaq because it's kind of got some weight on it. All right. So you can see lower high, lower high. We poked our head above here on Friday. But then, look, we opened down here and we closed at the lows. So this is just the area, 174.50. If this breaks down, I got a single prints that I got to move. Hold on a second. Down here, I just want to move these back. Right there. We got single prints below us. And you can see the volume very thin. That's the price. This has got to be defended by the Nasdaq. As long as that's defended, this is bullish. Okay. All right. So we got a balanced profile. So what is going on right now? Right. Price is here. We're in the middle of Friday's range. Not a lot of edge there. It's just not. Just not a lot of edge. Okay.